this video we will learn about how to compute or calculate moment of inertia of a particular body. Several steps will be followed. First of all, determine the axis about which the moment of inertia is to be calculated if not given. But very often in your question the axis is given about which the moment of inertia is to be calculated. Now draw an axis. Step 1, draw an axis passing through the center of mass of the body and parallel to the given axis. Step 2, divide the body with infinitesimally small elements of mass dm symmetrical to the given axis. Consider element dx at a distance x from the axis. This is the small element dm, which is considered to be dx at a distance r from the axis. The distance may be x. Now calculate the mass per unit length or mass per unit area or mass per unit volume of the body. Now if it is a rod of negligible width, you calculate mass per unit length. If it is a lamina, you calculate mass per unit area. If you are provided with a sphere, you have to compute mass per unit volume, whatever may be the case. Then find the mass of the element dx. Mass of the element dx by multiplying with the value obtained in the previous step. That means dx into mass per unit length or dx into mass per unit area will give you the mass, because per unit length, if I consider that mass of a body for 1 unit length is equal to mass by length, then for dx length it will be mass by length into dx. Similarly, for 1 meter square area, if the mass is mass by area, then for dx it will be mass by area into dx. In this manner you have to calculate it. Then finally add all the element dx within the given limit. All the element dx. You have to integrate it. Very often you have to integrate it. And while drawing the axis, you may take the help of theorem on parallel axis, this relation, and theorem on perpendicular axis, this relation. Now we will learn how to compute the moment of inertia of a thin uniform straight rod about an axis passing through the center of mass perpendicular to its length. So if this is the body about an axis passing through its center of mass and perpendicular to its length. So this is the body, this is moving in this way. So this is fixed, it is moving in this way. So this is the fixed axis passing through the center of mass and it is rotating in this way. Okay. So how can we calculate it? About an axis passing to the center of mass. So the axis is passing to the center of mass. So we have drawn the axis. Now determine the step 1, determine the axis. Here it is given. It is passing to the center of mass. Step 2, consider element dx or divide the body. In step 2 is draw an axis passing through center of mass of the body. Now here the axis is given and it is itself passing to the center of mass, so no problem. Step 3, divide the body into infinitesimally small element dx symmetrical to the given axis. So I have divided it, small element dx. This is symmetrical because this is the central line and this is the mirror image of this one. So this is symmetrical to this one. This is dx, and element dx is considered from a length of x unit. Now this is considered to be the x-axis, this is considered to be the y-axis. Now because we have taken a straight rod of negligible width, we have to consider length. So what is mass per unit length? For unit length, mass is m by L. So for dx length, the mass will be m by L into dx. The moment of inertia is about y dash, about this axis. For element dx is mass into square of the distance. So mass of the element is m by L dx into square of the distance means x square. Now integrate it. মানে add it. All the dx on either side should be added. So you have to add from this length is minus L by 2, this is x axis, so this distance is minus L by 2, and this point is minus L by 2 comma 0, and this point is L by 2 comma 0. So you have to add within this limit, that means from minus L by 2 to L by 2 you have add all the dx. So it is written in this manner: minus L by 2 to L by 2 within the limit mx square by L dx. Since m by L is common and x square dx, after integrating we will x cube by 3. The limit is lower limit minus L by 2, L by 2. Put the limiting value and you will get ml square by 12. Now if you are asked to calculate about an axis parallel to y dashed and passing through one end of the rod, that means here this is the central line, the axis which is passing through the center of mass, and we have to calculate the moment of inertia about this axis which is parallel to y dash at one end of the rod. That means if this is the rod and it is rotating in this manner, that means this is fixed and it is rotating in this manner. So from the central point, that means the center of mass, we can now here we can take the help of the theorem on parallel axis, because here this we consider to be the end of the rod, this line, it is rotating about this axis and one is passing through the center of mass. So here we can take the theorem on parallel axis, that is moment of inertia about an axis through its center of mass plus mass into square of the distance. Here the distance from the central line is L by 2, so m into L by 2 whole square. And what is the moment of inertia about the center of mass? That is ml square by 12. So ml square by 12 plus m into L by 2 whole square, addition will give you ml square by 3. So this is the process followed. Now if you are asked to compute the moment of inertia of a rectangular lamina about an axis passing through its center of mass and parallel to its side, about an axis passing through the center of mass and parallel to one of its side. Now the length is, here we can consider a lamina. This is the lamina, let us consider. This is the lamina. Let us consider this is the lamina. Now, this is the central line, this is the center of mass, and the straight line through the center of mass is the y-axis. We have considered an element dl here, an element dl. This is the breadth and this is the length of the lamina. Now what we are going to compute? We are going to compute about an axis passing through its center of mass and parallel to its one of its side. Now it is parallel to B. Now the first two steps have already been done. We have already determined the axis drawn here. Now we have to divide it into infinitesimally small element. Now since this is an area, specific area, we have to consider a strip. So it has dx. Now since we cannot calculate now mass per unit length, we have to calculate here mass per unit area. So if the entire mass of the lamina is capital M and area is capital A, that is length into breadth, then mass per unit area is mass by length into breadth. So for one unit area, mass is m into LB, but here the area of this one is strip is dx, length into breadth means B. B dx is the area of this stripe. So mass of the strip is m by LB into B dx, mass per unit area into B dx. So this is the moment of inertia of the strip about y dash is m by LB into B dx into square of the distance. That will give you m by L into x square dx. Now you have to calculate it. This is x axis and this is the y axis. You have to integrate it from this region to this region because this is the axis. So here the region is, this is total is b. So in the y axis this is b by 2 and this is b by 2. So this point is 0 comma minus b by 2 and this point is 0 comma b by 2. So you have to integrate it minus b by 2 to b by 2. So we will get the total length. Minus b by 2 to b by 2. So we will get the total area. So moment of inertia of the lamina about xx dashed is, moment of inertia about yy dash is m by l x square dx minus l by 2 to l by 2, and if you calculate xx dash, that will be minus b by 2 to b by 2, that is m by b, instead of l that will be x square dx. So moment of inertia about y axis, if you consider the y axis, then it is ml square by 12. If you consider the x axis, then it will be mb square by 12. Now if you are asked to calculate the moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the plane and passing through the center of mass, perpendicular to the plane and passing through the center of mass, that means now this is in this way, it is rotating in this manner. This is the axis of rotation in this one, this is perpendicular to the plane, so the movement is in this manner. So here there is a three-dimensional space. Here we can apply the theorem on perpendicular axis. So I will be equal to Ix plus Iy. What is Ix? mb square 12. What is Iy? ml square by 12. Just add these two and you will get the moment of inertia about an axis perpendicular to the plane and passing through the center of mass. Now if you are asked to calculate the moments of inertia of a loop or a ring. A ring may be rotated in several ways. If we consider this is a ring, is not a ring in my hand. If I consider this is a ring, then how will it move? The question lies. Let this is a ring. How will it move? If it is fixed in the central region, just my finger point, it may move in this manner. Point it here, it may move. Now in this case, it is moving about this axis. It may rotating about this axis, or it may rotate in this manner. Now first of all, we are considering about an axis passing through the center and perpendicular to the plane of the disc. About an axis passing through its center and perpendicular to its plane in this way. So diagram is in this manner. So this is the axis passing through the center of mass of the system, which is outside the body. I have drawn it in this manner. This is the y axis, this is the x axis, this is the central region, and let a mass m be considered. Now I is summation of m r square. This is symmetrical figure. So if you take r square common, summation of all the small masses m, that will give you capital M r square. This is very simple. But if you are asked to calculate about a diameter, then observe that if you consider AB or CD, whatever the case, the diametrical lines are always symmetrical, because if you consider AB, then this part will give you a mirror image of this part. So AB is the line of symmetry. Similarly, if you consider CD the diameter, this part is identical to this part. So CD is also the line of symmetry. Here we are calculating the moment of inertia of the ring about a diameter, so we can apply the theorem on perpendicular axis. So I of AB plus I of CD will give you m r square. So moment of inertia, theorem on perpendicular axis. Moment of inertia is I about y axis, I about x axis. So here I about x axis is IAB, I about y axis is ICD is equal to m r square. We have already calculated it, we know the value. In this way you can calculate the I dashed. Both will be same because they are symmetrical. both AB and CD divide the circle into two identical parts. So IAB and ICD will be same. We have considered I dashed. So IAB plus ICD is equal to I dash plus I dashed is equal to 2 I dashed is equal to m r square. So I dashed is equal to m r square by 2. This is about a diameter. Now you can also calculate about a tangent in the plane of the ring. Tangent in the plane of the ring. See, this is a ring. If this is the tangent, it is turning about its tangent. This is a tangent, it is turning about its axis. This type of turning. How can you calculate it? Here also, this is the tangent. Now, see here, we can apply here theorem on parallel axis. So, I of PQ will be I of AB plus I of m r square. That will be 3 by 2 m r square. Now, about a tangent to the perpendicular plane of the ring, we can also use here IPQ is equal to I of YY dash plus m r square. See the figure? That will give you 2 m r square in this way. Now, moment of inertia of a circular disc. This is the disc, circular disc. Now, this is the central region, this is the center of mass, x-axis and y-axis intersecting here, this is the origin. Now, from our distance we have taken a small element dx. Now, step 1 we have already done. Step 2 we have considered this is an area. We have to take a symmetrical figure. To make it a symmetry, we have taken dx equally from all points. That means we have considered a circular ring where element dx is present at equal distance. So it is symmetrical figure, completely a symmetrical figure, and we know that we have to take a symmetrical figure because we have to divide the body in inertial small element of mass dm symmetrical to the given axis. This is very important point, symmetrical to given axis. So step 3 is we have drawn. Now we have to take mass per unit area of the disc here, because area is a flat surface. So area is pi r square obviously. So area of the ring is 2 pi r into dr is the area of the ring, width into circumference. So area of the ring is 2 pi r dr. So mass of the elementary ring will be m by pi r square, mass per unit area into area, then 2 pi r dr into square of the distance. That will give you the moment of inertia of the ring only. Now there are several rings which have dr as element. So you have to add it or integrate it from where? From 0 to r. From 0 to r. So you have to integrate it from 0 to r and you will get this value half m r square. If you try to find out the moment of inertia of a circular disc about a diameter, you have to consider it in this manner. I is equal to id plus id. That will give you id to 1/4 m r square. In this way, moment of inertia of a circular disc can be computed.